Alright guys, perfect. So topic number 1 is a Russian alphabet. Cyrillic alphabet is something that might threaten you from the beginning. But now we will divide all the 33 letters that we have in Russian into 4 groups so that it's going to be easier for you to study them, to learn them. I'm going to be reading the letters first, and you just take a look at the screen and try to remember and build associations, right? So that you build the right association with the letter, the way it looks and the way it sounds. First, I'm reading the whole alphabet for you. Or maybe I should be just saying it because I have to remember it from my childhood. All right, so A, B, V, G, D, Е, Ё, Ж, З, И, И краткое, К, Л, М, Н, О, П, Р, С, Т, У, Ф, Х, Ц, Ч, Ш, Щ, твердый знак, И, мягкий знак, Ю, Я. Very good. So now we divide those 33 letters into 4 groups. The first group is the easiest because the letters in Russian look like the letters in English and they sound alike as well. Alright? So there are just, unfortunately, 6 letters like that. Not many. The first letter is A. So in English it's A, but still like the sound is pretty much similar. A. Then we got Ye. And you have to also understand that there is a difference between the way we pronounce the letter and the way we pronounce the sound. The sound Ye can be divided into 2 different sounds. Ye with the Y in the beginning, right? So for example, Yel. Yel. So we got Y, then E, and then we got Yel, right? Or if Ye stands after a consonant, then it will be just pronounced as soft Ye, but without the Y sound. For example, les. L, Y, S, 3 letters. Letter L becomes soft, L, and now we got les. So then we don't have Y sound. It's not yes, it's les. Very good. Then the next letter would be, I think, K. K. The letter is called K, but the sound is K. It's pretty similar. K. Then we got M. Mama. Мяч. M. Then we got O. So it's not O, it's just O. Картошка. Ложка. O. And then we have T. Тут. Торт. T. Alright. Now we start with the second group. The second group is going to be about those letters that sound alike but look differently. And these are quite many. So I don't know if it's your first time that you see the Cyrillic alphabet and that you try to understand which letter stands for what. But it's kind of exciting to see that it's different from what we can see internationally, so those sounds are different, and once you learn it, it will be with you till, you know, till the very death, let's say, so it's good knowledge to gain. And we start with the first letter, B, right? So B, letter B in English is different. For us, it will sound differently. We will have it in the third group. We write the sound B like this, like you see on the screen. B. For example, babushka. The famous word babushka actually has to be pronounced as babushka, and is this letter B. No, B. B. B in Russian. Okay? So B. Then we got G. We have the sound sometimes in English. I can't remember an example right now. Cognitive, right? So G. We have G. Sometimes G stands for that. But in our case, it's this G, weird letter, which has two like sticks. We write it like that. And yeah, so my examples would be гусь, горстка, grosz. Now, no need to understand the meaning, just try to associate the letter that you see with the sound G. Alright? Next sound is D as well. Very nice letter, which is different from English. D. Дом. Дверь. Дождь. D. 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 Then letter Yo. Letter Yo is something that doesn't exist in English, let's say, as a letter. But it's like a combination of Y and O. So you can say yo, yo, hey, hey, yo, what's up? For us, it's the letter Yo, which looks almost like letter Y, but with those two little dots up on there. Yo as well, you know, it's kind of a specific letter that we got, and it can be used in the beginning of the word or in the middle of the word. Normally it wouldn't be at the end. And as well, what's important to know is that yo is the letter that is always under the stress. So you might face some difficulties with the stress because we don't put this sign of the stress in Russian words, and you don't always know where to put the stress. But if you see the letter yo, it's nice, and you know this letter, this syllabus is going to be under the stress. Perfect. Then we start with the letter Z. This little Z letter that looks like a bug or something. It's kind of funny, but no, for us it stands for the sound Z, жук, жизнь, живой, and we got that in English, right? There are many examples, but for us it's just one letter, so we don't need to write Z and H. We just write it as Z, one letter. The next letter is going to be P. P. So the one that we write differently in English as well. P. It's kind of a popular letter in Russian. For example, we write down Papa, plot, pot, whatever. P looks like a little table. P. So, yeah, let's build this association with the letter P. And then the next one is a bit weird. I don't know why I have it next one, but it's F. This is also, like, it may look a bit weird, but it's F. Фонарь, фото, flirt. It looks like this round crossed in the middle. Yeah, like in the words fact, fast and whatever. So it just as well has a different shape in Russian. Then we got the letter E. E is like this long, like double E sound in English. See, feel, this is the same, and for us is this letter E. What? It just again has a different shape, and it has a kind of a broader letter, short E, right? И краткое. So it has this long name because it's literally, it literally means E, краткое, то есть short E, and it stands for the Y sound. We have it many times in the end of the word, or sometimes in the beginning, very rarely. Йод, край. We got this letter in the end of many adjectives. Красивый. Красивый. In English, it's hard to explain, actually. And you know, many adjectives in English would be, like, for example, Nevsky Prospect in St. Petersburg. It would be written with a Y, but not I-Y, but just Y. And, like, if you read it as a foreigner, it's not clear that you have to pronounce it as Nevsky. I, Y. So now you know. Y. Right? Then we got the letter L. L can be written like that, like a bit as a quadrant, or it can be like a roof of this little house, right, with two sides equally shaped. L. Then we have letter C. C. This letter is as well special, and now we come down to those letters that can be really tricky in terms of the sound. So what is this letter C? For me, it's like a combination of T and S. So T and S, or TS, together give us the T sound. For example, we use this letter to say somebody that you have to be quiet, and we say Ts, right? In this case, it will be written as T-S, but anyhow, the sound is the same. So Ts. I don't know how to build an association with that one. Probably just to remember that it got two sides, two sticks, and it has this little tail as well. So Ts is the first letter that we have like that in list, and it stands for the T-S sound. Ts, ts, цыпленок, циц, цветок. All right, the next one is going to be sh. As well, this letter we know quite well, but it can be tricky in Russian. So here you don't have this little tail. It stands for the hard sound sh, sh in English, sh, шар, шапка, шить, sh, just like a little snake, sh. Then we have another letter that looks quite similar, but it has a different sound, and for us it's really different as well for us Russians. It is a sh letter, sh. This one looks exactly the same, but it has this little tail, and you have to pronounce it in the same way, but like if you were smiling and making it soft. Sh, sh. This famous letter is in the end of the word борщ, right? So if you manage to pronounce it well, you're going to be already master of the pronunciation. Sh, sh. Like sh, sh, sh. See the difference? Sh and sh, sh. We have another soup called, like the name of which has this letter is she, she. Very good. The next letter is going to be what? It's going to be e. E. It's a bit like in French. You got this open mouth. It's similar to ye sound, but it's just open and you don't have this ye pre-sound in the beginning. So the letter e has to be pronounced with the open mouth and without this pre-sound of y in the beginning. And then we got two more in this group. You. You can think of this letter as a combination of the y and u sounds. So it's like you. In the word, you don't always have the y sound. It can be just u. Like for example, lublю, lublю. So the sound is going to be very soft. And if we got it in the beginning of the word, then we will pronounce it with the y. For example, Yula. But well, the letter is U, and I hope you're gonna remember that. And the last one, but not least, in this group and in the alphabet as well, it's letter Ya. Ya in Russian means me, myself, I. Ya. And it's the last letter that we have. It can be as well put in the end of the word, sometimes in the beginning. Many adjectives for like the feminine form of the adjectives are going to be ending with that letter. Красивая девушка. So now we're done with this group. Letter Ya, буква Я. And we can go to the group of the sounds which look alike in English but sound differently. So the first one is V. As you know, in English it sounds like B, but we already got a letter B that we know from the group 2. So this one sounds like V. So it will sound like the letter V in English. V. Например, вор, вот, вилка, V. Simple V sound. I hope it's not that hard. The next one is Z. So this letter that looks like number 3 actually stands for the letter Z, like Z in English. So letter 3, if you see letter 3 in a word or in the alphabet, remember that it's Z, just like the last word in the English alphabet. The next one is going to be N. Very nice that we have that many sounds that can sound similarly but look differently, and vice versa. So N would be written like English H. The smaller version would be different though. So both the big and small letters would look the same. Then N. Every time you see this H in the Russian word, you would know that it is an N. N, right? Then what? Then we got S. No, first R. R. Letter P in English, in Russian means R, right? So again, the sound that doesn't sound the same. So it looks the same, but doesn't sound the same. R. R. The next one is S. Then it can be a bit tricky because in English we got C and S. And yes, sometimes C can be an S. But in Russian, just one sound. It's always S, and it's written like the letter C. S. Сок. Сон. Спать. S. Simply S. Then we got U. Interesting that it is here because, yeah, in English, of course, we got the sound U. It's like double O. Noodles and all those things go U. In Russian, is this letter U that stands for the sound. It's like a friend of this U sound. So remember, the U was made out of Y and U. So this second part is this letter U, and we write it like that. Very good. And now we have what? We have ch, ch, or that can be tricky too. This goes all together with those th, h, sh, sh. That can be tricky, and you need to distinguish between them from the beginning, right? Until now we had th, which was this letter with a little tail with two sticks, and it sounded as th, s, s. Then we had also sh and sh, remember? Now we got ch, ch. How to remember it? Ch, it looks like a chair, it sounds like a chair. In English it would be ch. So just remember it. I think the easiest is to remember it as a chair, right? You remember chair, it looks like a chair a bit, like an upside down chair, and it's ch. Человек, читать, чтобы, things like that, right? Ch. And now we have the last letter in this group. Congratulations, and we are almost done, and it's gonna be h, right? It's gonna be h. H would kind of stand for an H in English. H looks like an axe, but for us it would be the sound h. Cohort, this h sound. Хлеб, хорошо, ходить, h sound. Very good. And as well, we got a group of those little sounds that do not exist in English in any way, right? So the first one is going to be the soft sound. What is the soft sound? It's actually quite used in Russian language, and it is used to distinguish between the hard and soft sounds. And maybe before we discuss this letter soft sound, I will explain you the difference between the soft and hard sounds. I recommend this video where I explain already the differences, like 3 main mistakes in Russian pronunciation between foreigners, and there I also discuss this topic because normally it's hard for them to actually distinguish between those two and to understand what is this soft sound, what is this hard sound. I think you just need to hear the difference. So let's do some listening task. For almost all the consonants, we might have 2 variations of the sound. And really, you need to practice that. If we got a letter L, by default, like it's heard like that, L. But depending on the letter that goes afterwards, it may have different shapes. The sound may sound differently. If the letter after that is A, O, U, U, right? Then we will have the hard sound. So L doesn't change. We got our tongue super narrow, and we will say it ложка, ложка. All the differences here in your mouth, and you just change the position of your tongue. So it's lo, lo. I don't think it exists in English with the letter O at least. So lo, ложится, ложка, лыка. Yeah, examples like that.